If you don't know what you want in life, that's completely okay. That's completely natural. That's completely normal. It's actually something to embrace, right? It's a truthful and honest place to start off with, right? I don't really know what I want, right? This is an extremely powerful statement because from this place, we can build upon it in such a way so that it doesn't come crumbling down at one point, right? Because it's, like I said, it's truth, it's honest, it's what is actual, right? And building the foundation of your life and what you really want out of it upon the truth is completely needed for actually having a solid foundation, because the truth is what is. It's what is actual. It's what is real. Building the foundation upon lies, deception, delusion is bound to create suffering and come collapsing, right? Crumbling down. So I want to offer you a whole bunch of points for how to get clear about what you really want out of your life. And this is incredibly powerful, especially for young people, but anyone whatsoever, but especially if you're young, this is really important. So there's this aspect to our experience, right? We'll call it our long-term development as people. It's our ability to get our survival needs met and then move beyond them into self-actualization and self-transcendence. And to really get clear about your own psychology and who and what you are, you need to reach these higher levels of human development. These are essential for building forms of lasting clarity. So if you want to get clear about what you want, you have to focus on your long-term development as a human being. So how do you actually do that? You need to have self-connecting activities, self-connecting routines that are based on, of course, long-term development. What does this look like? Spending time in nature, being able to spend time by yourself, connecting with other people who are healthy, reading a lot of books, daily journaling, daily meditation, eating foods that keep you mentally sharp, clear, feeling light rather than heavy and dull. So what does that mean? Cutting out junk foods, cutting out very sugary drinks, cutting out processed foods, all that kind of stuff. Eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, smoothies, water. You want things that are going to purify you, things that have healing properties to them. Right? You want to actually engage in activities that harness your intuition as well. So this is like meditation, right? Daily meditation, having structured time to sit, to be with yourself rather than needing to avoid yourself. How are you going to get clear about what you want if you're always avoiding yourself? You're not. Meditation retreats, right? Self-inquiry, learning how to just ask yourself powerful questions. Right? Some other core points are physical exercise, right? Daily exercise, stretching your body, yoga. You have to maintain your mental, emotional, physical well-being and develop yourself spiritually. Basically, raise your consciousness, right? Raise your psychological development. This is essential for really getting clear about what it is you want at the core. I'm not talking about like a surface level want. I'm not like, Lucas, that stuff, it can sound nice, but like, I don't really want that, so it's unhelpful, right? I'm talking about like, what does the core of your being want? What do you want at the deepest levels within you? And in order to actually get to those levels, we have to dig into the self. We have to create a clear, open, non-repressed structure, ego structure, right? That's capable of doing these things. We have to create a more conscious human. Without this, you're not going to get clear about what it is you really want. You're stuck at a surface level want of like, I want a relationship, or I want money, or I want blah, 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 right? You're not really digging into like the core wants that exist within your psychology, right? You're stuck at the surface. So some other core points, right? My second one is to openly explore and investigate life, the inner and outer world, and really studying a lot of various points of view. A lot of people, unfortunately, don't really explore life very much, A lot of people remain trapped within their paradigm, belief system, their bubble, their set of values, their sense of reality, their sense of what's possible and what's impossible. A lot of people do not do meditation retreats. They don't travel. They don't practice daily meditation, do self-inquiry. They don't investigate their own consciousness, their own mind, their own psychology. They don't read hundreds of books. They don't do any self-actualization or self-transcendence work whatsoever, which becomes a problem because, like I said, you can't get clear about what you want if you're avoiding yourself, if you're not actually working on yourself, if you're not conscious enough to really dig into yourself, right? You're just going to be confused, kind of going along the surface aspects of your own mind. So you need to learn how to openly explore life and investigate it, the inner and outer world, your inner psychology and the external world, going out and doing a meditation retreat, going out and doing a yoga class, going out to the gym and experimenting with, do I like weightlifting? Do I like going to this dance class? Do I like playing this sport? So all the way from, conventional human stuff to more fluffy sounding spiritual stuff like spiritual awakening and enlightenment, which is a possible thing for your life, right? Studying hundreds of points of view, reading Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, Christianity, Judaism, right? A lot of spiritual stuff. Reading science, psychology, Western psychology, psychotherapy, say even physics, biology, chemistry, right? Reading self-help, reading books on relationships, attachment theory, spiritual points of view on relationships, right? I have a free book list, check it out. Reading stuff on career and business, on health, right? And just gaining point of view after point of view after point of view so that your mind is open and flexible. Because with a rigid, closed, and dogmatic mind, you cannot properly investigate reality. If your mind is too attached to any set of ideas whatsoever, whether they're religious, spiritual, scientific, whatever, if it's too rigidly attached to any set of ideas, you cannot explore reality properly. You're going to be closing yourself down too much, especially if you don't really know what you want. In this case, you have to be opening yourself up to life and really investigating, right? Trial and error, taking ideas, testing them, right? Opening yourself up to experience. Next is really getting clear about your values. Contemplate this stuff. Most people don't really know what their core values are. They don't write them down. In this video, I'm asking you to begin writing down your core values over the next month. Return to this question of what do I really value over and over and over again. Maybe it's connection, health, creativity, self-actualization, consciousness. Maybe it's your career, right? Dig into your own psyche. Sit in an undistracted room, remove all distractions, no phone, TV, noise, music, nothing. Solitude and silence, contemplating this. No more distracting yourself. Right? How do you expect to get clear about what you really want if you're always distracting yourself, if you're always escaping yourself through entertainment, through noise, external noise? Right? So really get clear about your own personality type as well. This is going to be helpful for discovering your core values. Take a lot of personality tests, Myers-Briggs, Big Five, the Enneagram, right? You need to start digging into your own psychology, right? Learning Western psychology is really important. Learning Eastern spirituality / psychology is also incredibly important, arguably more important than a lot of Western psychology, to be quite honest. A lot of good Western psychology, of course. Like I would integrate both, really integrate both. But both are very much needed. But you don't want to snooze, you don't want to be asleep to the spiritual domain of this, because really at your core, you're an infinite, empty awareness experiencing itself as a human, right? And you need to become conscious of your nature. If you really want to self-transcend, like I talked about, if you want to really get clear about yourself and what you're really wanting out of life, right? If you really want to live it to the fullest, self-transcendence is needed. It's a completely natural stage of human development. Next is intrinsic motivation. So getting clear about what intrinsically motivates you as opposed to extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation is things that evoke a sense of passion, curiosity, creativity, purpose, mastery, a sense of freedom, excitement from you. It comes from inside of you. Extrinsic motivation comes from external, right? Money, fame, avoiding disapproval, avoiding punishment, wanting recognition, right? Wanting status, things like this. Right? Listen to your intrinsic motivation. It's more aligned with you, with what you really want. Right? What is your intrinsic motivation telling you? And really try and get rid of your limiting beliefs of like, but this isn't practical, or I can't do this. I can't actually really act on my intrinsic motivation. You have to take these ideas that I'm giving you in this video and act on them and put them to the test. Right? I'm giving you kind of a science experiment here. Telling you to do certain things, see the results. If they suck, throw it away. Right? If some stuff sticks, good. Right? So really just getting clear about what you're intrinsically motivated towards and having the courage to act on it. You will probably have fear when it comes to acting upon it. You'll probably have a lot of limiting beliefs, right? And why is that? It's because your current psychological structure is trying to keep itself alive, right? Because a lot of the things that your mind tells you aren't very accurate. Your mind is designed for survival. A lot of the things that your mind is going to tell you, you can watch this yourself, are just ways that it keeps itself stuck in its current circumstances, right? Because the mind has a homeostatic it's a homeostatic system, right? It wants to maintain itself. And if I'm telling you to go openly explore life and try a whole bunch of different things and act upon your intrinsic motivation and get fucking enlightened and all this stuff, self-actualize, right? This is quite the long-term vision for your life. This is quite the project. So of course it's, it won't be a surprise for the mind to just say like, nope, not realistic, can't do it, X and Y, X, Y, and Z as excuses, right? That's to be expected, right? Take this stuff one step at a time as well. Don't take, try not to get overwhelmed by all this. Take this stuff one step at a time. Break it down into what can you do, let's say tomorrow when you wake up, or even right now, depending on your situation. Maybe meditating, reading, taking some notes on this video, going for a walk in nature, contemplating, okay, what really excites me in life? What do I get a deep sense of excitement and guidance towards? Right? Next is healing trauma and repressed emotions, because the reason why this is so important is because we have a very natural guidance system as human beings, right? And various repressed emotions and wounds that exist inside of us keep those sort of signals down, right? We can't really dig into ourselves, and we have all these blocks and wounds inside of us. So we have to actually open ourselves up, even physiologically. We actually get very tense, right? We have three very main forms of resistance. Mental resistance, which is in the form of like thoughts, like this shouldn't be happening, and just thoughts that attack the present experience. This is a very shallow level of resistance. Going deeper, you have emotional resistance, right? This is like there's feelings in our body, emotions, sensations, energies that we don't want to feel, so we just kind of avoid them, right? We're not mindful, we're not grounded, we're not actually in our body, we're not regulating, we're not feeling what's going on. We're just stuck in thoughts, avoiding, chasing, grasping, rejecting experiences. And in relation to these uncomfortable feelings inside of us, we actually have various tensions in our body, right? We actually constrict and tense our body to like push out these feelings or just like separate ourselves from them. And this tension is another form of resistance. We have the mental, emotional, and this sort of physiological resistance. So how do you sit with an open, relaxed, untense body while being present and grounded in yourself, feeling what's going on and not fighting against the present experience? Get to that point and really you'll get very clear about what it is that you really want. Right? It'll come screaming through you because a lot of your core wants, they're actually repressed. Right? They're actually like stuck inside of you. They can't really come through because you have so many blocks and so many fears. Or you have so many wounds in the way of this that you can't help but not know. You can't help but be confused. And what I'm saying is that you need to dig into all these things, create a sense of well-being within yourself, a sense of openness, a sense of fluidity, a sense of connection to yourself. And then all this stuff is really going to begin to emerge in a very clear way, right? And a big part of healing is doing what I said previously with self-connecting activities and routines based off your long-term development. Psychotherapy is very good as well, right? Really learning how to process emotion, right? Your spiritual development is very important as well. like I've talked about enough in this video, meditating, right? Reading books, having some healthy habits, really getting to the root of all your coping mechanisms and addictions, your addiction to your phone or junk food or entertainment, why you're always distracting yourself, right? All this stuff is coping mechanisms for energies and repressed things inside your body that are controlling you without your awareness, right? You're not really applying attention to these aspects of your experience, and because of that, they control you. They remain unconscious, and they control you in ways that you would be amazed at if you could really begin to see them, right? So healing repressed wounds and various traumas and repressed emotions inside of you, this is essential, of course, for development as well, for being healthy, for self-actualizing and self-transcending. This is actually a massive part of self-actualization and self-transcendence, right? Because when we're talking about self-actualization, self-transcendence, these are the higher levels, the higher or the further reaches of human nature. These are the healthiest sort of beings that exist, psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, and typically physically as well. Right. So that's it for this video. You can apply to work with me one-to-one. Link is in the pinned comment and the description. Take it easy.